Yes. So the new topic is the magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. Today we are discussing about the magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. Solenoid means a coil of many circular turns of insulated copper wire wound on a cylindrical insulating body. That means it's look like a insulating body. See here, this is the insulating body. The copper wire can be wound is going on there. The two ends of the copper wire is connected to battery, and similarly in the series can be connected by plug key also. See here, a coil of many circular turns of insulated copper wire wrapped closely in the shape of cylinder is called a solenoid. Then pattern of magnetic field lines around a current carrying solenoid is shown in the figure 13.10. See the figure 13.10 here. The magnetic field lines of the magnetic field through the around a current carrying solenoid. So it's look like the copper wire wound is a circular loop. The number of turns of a copper wire should be going on there. This is the number of turns of the copper wire. The two ends of the connecting to a battery and plug key. So how the magnetic field can be towards from south to north direction. Towards south to north direction, the magnetic field lines can be loop of in a form of a north to south direction, and here also north to south direction. So here, do they look as a similar? In fact, one end of the solenoid behaves a magnetic north pole, while the other behaves as a south pole. So the field lines inside the solenoid are in the form of a parallel straight lines. So this indicates that the magnetic field is the same at all points inside the solenoid. Here the magnetic field is inside, so you have to check anywhere from here to here and here to here. So anywhere you have to check the all the magnetic field can be as uniform. Magnetic field is uniform. That means inside the solenoid all the magnetic field is uniform. So now a strong magnetic field produced inside a solenoid can be used as to magnetize a piece of magnetic material. So we have to use a piece of magnetic material like soft iron. So when placed inside the coil, the magnet so formed is called as electromagnet. Whenever the magnet is placed inside the coil, the magnet is so formed a electromagnet. Why it has to form a electromagnet? Because of the copper wire can be form of the current through a battery, then the current can be absorbed a magnet, so that magnet can be called as electromagnet. Anywhere you have to search that inside the solenoid the magnetic field is uniform. You understand? So it has the magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. So the magnetic field is same. It can be look like a electromagnet. The magnetic material like a soft iron. We have to use a magnetic material. So when the current is flowing through the solenoid, the magnetic field line pattern resemble exactly with those of a bar magnet. The fixed polarity north and south pole at its ends, and it acquires the directive and attractive properties similar to bar magnet. How the bar magnet can be attracts the materials, then here also the magnetic properties can be attracting the solenoid. So that's why hence the current carrying solenoid behaves like a bar magnet. So what is the use of the current carrying solenoid? It is used to form a temporary magnet. So it called as a electromagnet, as well as you have to use a permanent magnet. You understand? So the solenoid. So whenever the solenoid, we have to use a temporary magnet. It look like behave a permanent magnet. Let us see what is magnet, what is temporary magnet, what is a permanent magnet. Uniform magnetic field. The uniform magnetic field is represented equidistant parallel lines. It is shown below. See here, the parallel lines look like see, this is the magnetic field indicates. So the magnetic lines are formed a parallel lines. So whenever we have to see in a solenoid, the magnetic field lines can be form of a parallel lines. So this is called a uniform magnetic field. The uniform magnetic field consists a solenoid. Clear? So whenever we have to be using a permanent magnet and temporary magnet. So permanent magnet, what is the magnetic materials of the permanent magnet? Let us see. Yes, see here, this is all are permanent magnetic materials. So it is a ferromagnetic material which can be used to make a steel alloys. That means you have a alnico and nipomug. So that means the materials can be called as a alnico and nipomug. It processes permanent magnetic properties. One end of the magnet is called a north pole and other end is called as a south pole. So these are the permanent magnets. Let us see horseshoe magnet. So this is a horseshoe magnet. This is the highest strength magnetic field can be achieved here. So it has a two poles. One is north and one is south pole. This is also called as a permanent magnet. Let us see here. This is one of the permanent magnet and another one is temporary magnet. So we are already learned about the, so whenever the copper wire wound by the nail, the two ends of the copper were connected by the battery, then to form the current will be produced by the copper wire, then automatically the electricity behaves like a magnetic property. So that can be called as a electromagnet. See here, that is called a temporary magnet. The temporary magnet, that means the material which can be used to make a soft iron, it has look like a electromagnet. So it has a low magnetic properties. Permanent magnet means high strong magnetic properties. Then temporary magnet means it's a low magnetic properties which has a two difference between temporary magnet and permanent magnet. Is it clear? So here the permanent magnets have here two poles, but in temporary magnets there is no poles. Are you understand? See here, the iron dust particles should be have called as a temporary magnetic material. So we have to be use a, whenever the magnet can be roughed by a sanding, then we have to observe a the like a temporary magnetic materials in our childhood. So that's why that may be called as a temporary magnetic material. So we have to use here temporary magnets, permanent magnets, and the both magnets can be used in any equipments. Let us see how to make a, when we have to be the current induced, how whenever the magnetic properties can be achieved by a particles. Let us see. See here, this is a Fleming's left hand rule. So here the Fleming's left hand rule can be using look like a right hand thumb rule. Like means here, but two difference, right hand thumb rule and Fleming's left hand rule. So here the Fleming's left hand rule, the thumb indicates motion of the conductor. The conductor makes a to form of an electricity by through a copper wire or like that any conductor. So the thumb indicates motion of the conductor. The forefinger indicates magnetic field. The forefinger indicates magnetic field, and the middle finger indicates direction of the current. The middle finger indicates a direction of the current. So this is called a Fleming's left hand rule. So the left hand is look like that. Then the thumb indicates motion of the conductor. That means motion of the conductor or copper or wire or along with any material. So but the forefinger indicates magnetic field. That means the magnetic lines can be formed a forefinger, and the current indicates towards downwards. I understand. This is called a Fleming left hand rule. See the property of the exact graph here. One is magnetic field from the look like a x-axis, and y-axis is a current. So what is the resultant vector means the motion of the conduction, the motion of the conductor. So here it's look like the Fleming's left hand rule indicates the resultant is motion of the conductor, when it is the forefinger indicates magnetic field, the middle finger indicates current. It should be look like a graph should be going on there. let us see the Fleming's right hand rule. Let us see. See here, the Fleming's right hand rule is look like a Fleming's left hand rule, as well as the thumb indicates motion of the conductor and forefinger indicates magnetic field and middle finger indicates induced current. So these are the Fleming's right hand rule as well as the Fleming's left hand rule. But here we have two difference, right hand and left hand. They has the induced current and motion of the conductor. But there in Fleming's right hand rule, direction of the current. Clear? So induced current direction here, middle finger, and the forefinger indicates a magnetic field lines and the thumb indicates the motion of the conductor. I understand the both are same as well as a Fleming's right hand rule and Fleming's left hand rule. Let us see the definitions of the Fleming's right hand rule and Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. Stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger. We have to use a three fingers. One is thumb, one is forefinger and one is middle finger. So of the left hand, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Am I right? So the thumb is perpendicular to forefinger and the forefinger is perpendicular to middle finger. So the three are mutually perpendicular. It looks like a X, Y, Z axis. So that means, so each of the finger, what is indicating is there, such that the forefinger point towards the direction of the magnetic field and the middle finger points indicates the direction of the current. Then the thumb will indicate the direction of the force experienced by the conductor. That means the motion of the conductor. So it is to be applied only when the current and magnetic fields both are perpendicular to each other. So why we have to use a Fleming's left hand rule means when the current and magnetic fields both are perpendicular to each other, then the Fleming's left hand rule can be applied. So this is the Fleming's left hand rule. Now let us see the Fleming's right hand rule. See here, the Fleming's right hand rule. This also we have to use a three fingers. The three fingers are mutually perpendicular to each other. One is thumb, one is forefinger and one is the middle finger. Now here the stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of the right hand mutually perpendicular to each other such that the forefinger gives the direction of the magnetic field and the thumb points the direction of the motion of the conductor. Then the middle finger will give the direction of the induced current. So these are the main of the Fleming's left hand rule. So this is the main difference between Fleming's left hand rule and right hand rule. So we have to be using a conclusion of the why we have to using this rule means whenever the current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, then the rules are applying here. Okay, clear?